On the 24th of September 2025, the Department for Work and Pensions confirmed sweeping new measures that will change the lives of millions of pensioners across the United Kingdom. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Keir Starmer, the government has approved an increase that could see retirees receiving as much as £2,870 every month. This decision has been described as one of the most ambitious steps ever taken to protect older citizens from the growing cost of living pressures, and it is already sparking intense debate about fairness, sustainability, and the future of retirement in Britain. For many years, pensioners have spoken openly about how difficult it has been to stretch their income to cover everyday expenses. Food prices have climbed steadily, energy bills remain unpredictable, and housing costs take a growing share of fixed incomes. Despite decades of work and contributions, far too many retirees have found themselves forced to make painful choices between heating and eating. Advocacy groups such as Age UK and the Centre for Aging Better have repeatedly warned that the state pension was falling behind real living costs, leaving many older citizens vulnerable. The announcement that monthly support could now reach nearly £3,000 is therefore not only a financial relief, but also a symbolic gesture that their voices have finally been heard. The government explained that the £2,870 figure will apply to those with a full contribution history who are entitled to the maximum new state pension, alongside targeted pension credit uplifts and additional support measures. It will not be uniform for everyone. Those on the basic state pension or those with incomplete contribution records will see smaller increases, though still significantly higher than before. In practice, this means that a retired couple who previously managed on a combined household income of around £2,300 may now see their budget rise to well over £4,000. That difference could mean being able to pay off debts, travel to see family, or finally replace worn-out household essentials without constant worry. The DWP stressed that payments will begin rolling out from October 2025, with the first full amounts expected to be visible in bank accounts by the second week of the month. Letters will be sent to every eligible pensioner in advance, explaining exactly what they are entitled to and how their monthly figure is calculated. For those unsure whether they qualify, the government is encouraging individuals to use the online state pension forecast tool or to contact the pension service directly. Transparency, ministers insist, is key to ensuring that trust is restored after years of complicated benefit changes that often left people confused or misinformed. The announcement has been met with mixed emotions. On the one hand, pensioners are celebrating what feels like long overdue recognition. Margaret, a 72-year-old retired shop assistant from Birmingham, described breaking down in tears when she heard the news on the radio. After years of budgeting down to the last pound, she now feels she will be able to afford proper fresh food, occasional outings with her grandchildren, and perhaps even a holiday after more than a decade of going without. For her, the new measures represent dignity restored. But not everyone is convinced. Economists have raised concerns about the long-term affordability of such a significant increase. Critics from the opposition benches argue that while the Starmer government is making a bold promise now, future taxpayers may be left to shoulder the financial burden. They point to the aging population, with more than 12 million people already drawing some form of pension, and warn that the bill will only grow larger in years to come. The Treasury has countered these criticisms by outlining new revenue measures, including stricter tax enforcement on large corporations and changes to capital gains rules. Still, the debate over how sustainable this policy truly is will not go away. What is undeniable, however, is that pensioners have faced some of the harshest challenges in recent years. Inflation hit double digits in 2022 and 2023, eroding the value of fixed incomes. Even though inflation has since eased, prices remain stubbornly high. A loaf of bread, that once cost 80 pence now costs nearly £1.50, and household energy bills remain 2 or 3 times higher than they were a decade ago. For someone surviving on less than £2,000 a month, these increases have been devastating. The promise of £2,870 provides not just money, but peace of mind. The political significance of this announcement should not be underestimated. Pensioners are one of the most active voting groups in the country, and their support is critical to any government. By moving decisively to improve their financial security, Keir Starmer is sending a message that his administration values older citizens and will not leave them behind. This is in stark contrast to years of austerity measures and piecemeal pension reforms that often seem to favor short-term savings over long-term stability. Whether this gamble pays off politically will become clearer in the next general election, but for now, the government is betting that fairness for pensioners will be widely supported by the public. Of course, the new measures are not without complexity. Pensioners with private or occupational pensions will need to consider how their overall income interacts with tax rules. HMRC will still require tax to be paid on income above the personal allowance, which means that some retirees may see a portion of their additional support tax back. For instance, a retired teacher in Manchester who draws both the full state pension and a local authority pension may see their combined income exceed £35,000 annually, placing them into the higher tax bracket. It is therefore crucial for pensioners to review their tax codes, check their payslips, and seek advice if anything seems unclear. Scams are another concern. Whenever significant new payments are announced, criminals take advantage by pretending to be from the DWP or HMRC. Already, there are reports of fraudulent emails and text messages claiming that pensioners must provide bank details to claim the new amount. The government has made it clear that no one will need to apply for this uplift. Payments will be made automatically to those who qualify, and any communication about pensions should always be verified through official channels. Pensioners are urged never to give out bank details over the phone or online unless they are absolutely sure they are dealing with a legitimate government service. In many ways, the £2,870 figure is about more than money. It is about recognition. It is about acknowledging the decades of work, contribution, and sacrifice made by older generations. For a grandmother who worked in factories through the 1970s, or a grandfather who drove buses through bitter winters, this policy signals that their efforts are valued. It also sends a message to younger workers that their contributions will not be forgotten when it is their turn to retire. The principle of social security, that those who contribute should be supported in later life, is being reinforced in a very public way. Still, pensioners are being urged to remain vigilant and to plan wisely. With higher incomes, some may be tempted to spend more freely, but financial advisors recommend considering long-term needs. Healthcare costs, home adaptations, and potential care home fees remain major concerns for older people, and even with £2,870 a month, budgeting carefully will still be necessary. The government is also working on expanding access to free financial advice services, ensuring that retirees can make the most of this opportunity without falling into avoidable pitfalls. What lies ahead is uncertain. The promise of higher pensions will no doubt be welcomed, but its success will depend on smooth implementation, clear communication, and genuine protection for those who are most vulnerable. If the rollout falters, or if pensioners find themselves confused by complex rules, the goodwill created by this announcement could quickly evaporate. The DWP and HMRC therefore face enormous pressure to get it right. As October 2025 approaches, the focus will turn to the first payments. Millions of pensioners will be watching their bank accounts closely, waiting to see the difference for themselves. The moment that £2,870 lands, could be one of the most significant turning points in recent memory for retirement policy. For countless households, it will be the first time in years that they can look ahead with hope rather than fear. The story of Britain's pensioners is one of resilience, patience, and endurance. They have weathered recessions, inflation, and political change. Now, with this historic increase, there is a chance for a more secure and dignified retirement. Whether this measure will stand the test of time remains to be seen, but today it offers a moment of optimism. And for millions of pensioners across the country, that moment cannot come soon enough.